So we're here at Blue Mesa Trail, and look at these cool rocks. They do have kind of a blue, light blue look to them. It's really cool.
We're back for part 2 of our adventure
Oh
through
yeah.
Petrified Forest National Park. Ian and I set out to explore as much of this park as we could in a single day. And in the first video, we took in sweeping views from the painted desert rim trail, dropped down into the desert on the Onyx Bridge Trail, and ended up with a visit to the beautifully preserved Painted Desert Inn. But the journey's far from over. In the second video, we'll head deeper into the park to hike the otherworldly Blue Mesa Trail, cruise along a stretch of historic Route 66, walk among the ruins of an ancient village at Puerco Pueblo, and marvel at the stories etched into newspaper rock, hundreds of petroglyphs spanning centuries. And be sure to hit subscribe because in part 3, we'll explore the crown jewel of the park, massive glittering logs of crystallized petrified wood. This is one of the most accessible national parks in the country, with dozens of incredible viewpoints just steps from your car. But if you got the time, it's worth lacing up your boots for one of the short hikes. Like this one, the Blue Mesa Trail, which winds through a maze of striped badlands, layers of blue, white, gray, and purple. These colorful bands were formed over millions of years as volcanic ash, clay, and silt settled in layers and compacted into rock. And scattered across the trail are petrified logs, preserved from when they were buried in ash and soaked with silica-rich water. Over time, the wood's organic material was replaced by quartz and minerals, turning it into solid stone. It's hard to picture now, but this entire landscape was once a lush, tropical rainforest. About 225 million years ago, back in the late Triassic period, this region sat near the equator. Towering conifers lined wide rivers, surrounded by dense ferns and horsetail plants. Instead of ravens and lizards, you'd find dinosaurs and giant amphibians roaming the forest floor. Insects, the size of birds, buzzed through the humid air. What's now a dry, painted desert was once alive, with heat, water, and movement. Today's badlands are just the bones of an ancient world, exposed by time, wind, and erosion. After our hike, we continued along the 3.5-mile Blue Mesa Loop Drive, stopping at several overlooks. Each one gives you a totally different view of the surreal section of Petrified Forest National Park. After hiking through the alien-like landscape of Blue Mesa, Ian and I stopped at one of the overlooks for a quick breather and spotted a plaque that told a story we hadn't expected. It mentioned the Civilian Conservation Corps, or CCC, a program started in 1933 during the Great Depression. Young men in uniforms worked on public lands across the country. They were paid $30 a month, but $25 went straight home to their families. They didn't just build trails and campgrounds, they helped restore places like Petrified Forest, including the Painted Desert Inn, which I showed in my last video. The CCC ended when World War II began, but the legacy they left behind is still here, in the paths we walk, the parks we love, and the stories hidden just off the trail. This is the only national park in America that preserves a piece of historic Route 66. The road originally stretched over 2,400 miles from Chicago, Illinois, all the way to Santa Monica, California. In the 1930s and 40s, families and adventurers cruised this highway west, stopping at roadside attractions like the Petrified Forest. That old Studebaker marks where Route 66 once cut right through this desert, a rusting reminder of the golden age of road trips. After checking out the old Studebaker, marking where Route 66 once cut through this land, Ian and I continued our drive deeper into the Petrified Forest National Park. The main road through the park stretches about 28 miles from end to end, with plenty of short hikes and scenic stops along the way. If you're just here to take in the views, it's one of the most drivable national parks out there. And if you want to see the full drive, it's available right here on my channel with narration, and also without narration on my sister channel, Weekend Wheels AZ. Right off the main road, Ian and I started the short walk around Puerco Pueblo, the remains of a 100-room village built by the ancestral Puebloan people nearly 700 years ago. These sandstone walls once housed families who farmed corn, beans, and squash, using clever irrigation and gathered wild plants from the desert around them. Life here wasn't easy. They relied on seasonal rains, built rooftop ladders to access rooms, and used stone tools to shape daily life. Over time, changing climate and resources likely caused the community to move on, part of a larger migration across the Southwest. One of the most incredible features here are the petroglyphs, hundreds of them etched into the dark desert varnish on nearby rocks. Some show spirals, believed to represent time or water. Others might depict clan symbols, maps, or even spiritual stories. One of the most famous is the solar marker, aligned with the summer solstice. At the end of the loop is a small building with exhibits to help you better understand the people who once lived here. If it's open, step inside. It's a quick but meaningful stop to see pottery fragments, tools, and more about the Pueblo's layout. This isn't just a collection of old rocks. It's a footprint of an entire community that once called this desert home. Our last stop on this leg of the journey is Newspaper Rock, one of the most fascinating archaeological sites in Petrified Forest National Park. From this overlook, you're looking at more than 650 petroglyphs etched into the dark stone over 600 years ago by the ancestral Puebloan people. You'll see spirals, figures, and animals. Their exact meanings are still a mystery, but they may represent stories, ceremonies, or the passing of time. There's a spotting scope to help you see the panels up close, but please note, this is an overlook only. Visitors aren't allowed to walk down or across to the rock panels. That wraps up this hike, but we're not done yet. In the final part of the series, we'll head deeper into the park to walk among towering crystallized logs, explore the agate bridge, and end at the giant logs trail. So subscribe now so you don't miss it. And if you love scenic desert drives, the roads through this park are just as stunning as the hikes. Check those out too.